Oh, good night, good night. Just finished a little walk at the gym. Didn't do too much, only did 30 minutes this time. Probably be back in the morning. But I wanted to talk about the value of your time. One of the realizations that I've had, epiphany, so to speak, is that we don't really value our time, you know, and like just the finite or the finite nature of our lives, right? Like we just don't have all this time. We don't know when we're gonna go. It's indefinite, right? But it is finite. Like I think indefinite is like not a set time, but then finite means that it is limited, but you still don't know what it is. So I think I use those words in conjunction together properly. But one thing that I think that's like sad, and I just, you know, kind of crystallized it into a saying like today. Today. Over the weekend I had an issue. Well, not an issue really. It's just my hairstylist, my loctician. I like to say hairstylist. I don't care how it sounds. But my loctician pretty much just like wasted 2 hours of my time. Like, you know, appointment was at 3. I didn't even get in the chair until 5. And then, you know, I was like kind of tired after that. And she was very sorry and stuff like that, and very apologetic. But I told her, I was like, you know, listen, that really annoyed me, but I'm cool with your mom, and I don't mind chilling out with your mom. She's cool. But you know, respectfully, next time I'm not gonna wait that long. I'm just gonna leave. And she was like, hey, listen, I got you on the next one, right? And I was like, all right, whatever. Because her mom like invited me to church, because I always tell her mom that I'm like single and I'm always looking for women. It's just like the conversations we have. But that made me start thinking, you know, about the value of my time, and then actually putting a number to it. And one of the epiphanies that I have, which I said earlier is sad, and just getting to that point, or getting back to that point, is that we do not value our time or know the value of our time unless someone puts a number to it or an amount on it, meaning like your hourly wages and things like that. So I just calculated right before this video. I'm going to be quitting probably like one of my jobs just because they're just kind of playing around and I'm not seeing any type of movement. I can't even enter time, and they just have me taking these courses, and I just don't freaking care. And it's the lowest paying job. It's like paying 120K, and I'm like, bro, I don't care. Like, be gone. So I am going to, so that'll bring me down to like 400K a year instead of 520. But if I was making 520K a year, my hourly rate or my hourly pay would be, you know, 520 divided by 80 hours per work week, and then, or per pay period time divided by 26 pay periods. And that's going to be $250 an hour, right? Do it to 400, same numbers except for the 400. It's going to be $192 an hour. So when you start to look at like, okay, hey, my hourly, like my time is worth to another organization, my time is worth $192 to $250 an hour. She took $500 away from me in a sense, because I could have taken that time and could have learned a new skill, which I have to learn React, or even like Docker. So like learn a new skill, brush up on what I'm doing, get better at other things, so on and so forth, right? You took that time away from me, or the time just to relax, which to me is super important. And I'm like, it's just crazy. Like, why would you have me sitting here? And I went with it, and I tried to be nice. I made some stupid jokes and stuff like that, and, you know, made fun of the situation. Also, she was working really hard, from the mom said. She's been going since that morning, and then she had to go get something to eat and everything else like that. So I understand that as a former consultant. So that was another reason why I just like chilled out and really just sat back. And I ain't had nothing to do, and it was good to chill and be out with people. So it was like I was annoyed, but I wasn't mad. But I told her, I was like, listen, respectfully, I'm not doing that again. And she was like, you felt real bad about it. And she's a very sweet lady. So like, she's really nice. But it's kind of crazy, you know, we don't put that amount, you know, we don't put that value on our time, you know, like until somebody else does. And I told you guys about, you know, back in, damn it, was it August, September of last year, or August, or maybe September, October of last year, I got off of, and I could repeat this all the time, I got off a couple Telegram groups, or I got off a Telegram group, a couple WhatsApp groups, and then got off of like online dating. I've since been back on and then gotten off again, right? But now I looked at Instagram as a drain. Like, I'd wake up, look at Instagram, look at the chicks. Oh, okay, you know, like, it's a drain on time and drain on money, because I'm like, I'd be tricking on this OnlyFans shit, because, like, I just haven't been in a strip club in fucking forever, and OnlyFans is actually, like, you know, it's affordable when you're making a lot of money, and I'm not sitting there, like, you know, I get on these chicks for, like, 1 month and then get the fuck off. Like, I'm not sitting there, you're not getting money out of me every freaking month, I'm sorry. And I was like, you know what? This shit is costing me time and money. Money's not the biggest deal on that. Like, honestly, like, whatever I put into OnlyFans is like way less than what I would spend at a fucking club, even on one night. So there's that part, just looking at it financially speaking. But nonetheless, this cost me time and money. And I'm looking at Instagram and I'm like, is this app worth me losing my sources of income? Is this app worth the amount of time and effort, or the amount of time that I'm putting into it? Just forwarding freaking booty pictures, watching funny videos, and all this other shit. Even YouTube, I'm like, ugh. Like, I'll make content, but I may not, like, sit there and watch it all the time, or watch a lot of stuff, because it just gets redundant. And we're seeing, like, you know, a growth of the purple pill space. So that's definitely one thing that, you know, I'm seeing a lot of, and it's just more and more of it, and we're seeing the clashes of it as well, where our spaces clashing and talking to the purple pill spaces. So you're starting to see that, you know, the emissaries, the ambassadors of these purple pill spaces coming into the red pill space, and eventually I think the purple pill will just take over, because people just can't deal with the red pill, and we'll be seen as weirdos. I've already talked about that, and I'm saying it as like a matter of fact or a fait accompli, like, this shit is already written, it's gonna happen, that type of shit. Because to me, it's like, that's just, you know, what we've done has already been done. All that stuff, all those wheels have been in motion for a long period of time. That snowball is already down the hill. It is a big ass fucking snowball / avalanche. You know, that shit we already kicked that off. Like, it's already done. We've already applied the patch, the update to our society, and you know, feminism is spreading past the West, quote unquote the West, and then the update / patch is already on its way out to those areas as well. So that's like, that to me, that's like over with and done. Like, move on to the next shit. Like, as a older millennial, be 37, but older millennial and transitioning into the next phase of quote unquote the space, even my content, even my mindset of what I want to do next. Like, you know, I'm just trying to do a little bit different, you know, not in a special way, but like, hey, listen, you gotta quote unquote act your age, invest your age, so on and so forth. With all that being said, man, it's just, you're seeing these things, and I'm seeing these things happen, and I'm seeing how, you know, my time is being used, and I'm like, I don't like this. I need to get away from this. I need to change this. So I did. I got rid of Instagram. I got rid of Facebook probably like a couple weeks to a month ago, because I was just only on there for Facebook dating. Nothing was happening. I copy and paste everything, like I said. You know, nothing special came of it. I talked to a couple women on there, but like, nothing serious, and they all failed my test. Like, if I stop talking, will you start? You know, will you continue the conversation? And they don't, which means there's a lack of interest. So that's fine with me. It's either a lack of interest or ego. So when you have a woman that doesn't want to, in a sense, shed her ego, or put her ego pride to the side and say, hey, I'm going to hit this person up and I'm going to call them, especially if they have your number, or I'm going to talk to them, text them, and try and reach out to them, then fuck it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You know, you just leave it alone. That person doesn't really want to, quote unquote, be with you. Because if you want to be with somebody, you're just going to talk to them. And again, these are all time wasters, because the thing is, we don't do what's necessary to qualify or vet somebody, or help someone, or show someone, or make someone earn our time. You know, we don't do all these things, right? So when it comes to like dealing with women, dealing with even like, you know, your quote unquote male relationships, friendships, business, or anything else like that. Like, what is that person that is requiring your time, requiring your attention, doing to earn it? You know what I mean? Like, what is this woman doing? What is this homeboy doing? What are they doing to actually earn your time? And then when you look at the financial aspect of your time, and even if you would just say, hey, listen, I take that, you know, my yearly salary, right, and I split it over 24 hours times 365, and that's how much I make per hour, in a sense, right? That's how much I'm quote unquote worth, you know. And then of course you multiply as you make more money and so on and so forth. That's how much I'm worth, and that's how much my time is worth. And if I look at it and I say, me chilling with my homeboy, just talking shit, smoking weed, drinking, fucking around, chasing after women, being out at the club, doing X, Y, and Z, all this other stuff, or even at, you know, even at home, you know, like just leisuring around, and just like, sometimes I just stare at my spreadsheet for long periods of time, man, like just way too much. And I'm like, I really don't need to be here. I just don't have anything else I want to do more than this, you know? And I have to look at that as somewhat of a time waster too. Now, everything does not have to be productive. I think you should have those times when you are not productive, that you are quote unquote chilling out, that you are quote unquote vegetating. I think that is very important. Hold on, let me turn this air on. Actually, let me just wind the freaking window down. I think those times are very important, but we do have to be honest, or we do have to have an account of our time and take an audit of our time. Now, I'm not talking about that time you spend with your mom, that time you spend with someone else's mom and just chopping it up and stuff like that. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, you know, the time where you even think that, hey, this is not a good use of my time and I could be more productive, or focusing on my goals and my vision, right? And you have to budget for that too, just like you have to budget with your money, because your money is a manifestation of your time, in a sense, right? It's a tracker of your time. And sometimes you save that money, and that means that you can actually use it later on, aka you know, you work your 30-40 years in a job, or in a corporate America, so that you can actually have enough money for 30-40 years at the end of your life, right? You know, or your expected life. And it's like, you know, you just look at these things, and this is like how time is important. And again, I look at these things and I'm like, why am I spending all this time on fucking OnlyFans? She has a nice ass, you know, or not OnlyFans, sorry, Instagram. I'm spending a lot of time on OnlyFans, thankfully, you know. But on Instagram, and she has a nice ass, and she has an OnlyFans, and then you just get tired of that, because you just get kind of jaded, because you're just like, all these bitches have OnlyFans. Jesus Christ. Like, and then they have OnlyFans, and then they have fucking boyfriends that'll be sitting there recording them. Bro, I saw some shit where this one chick was laid on the bed, big old fucking ass and everything, right? And then you just see a baby leg in the bed, and I'm like, her nigga is taking a picture of this shit while his baby in the bed. Like, you gotta really think how fucked that is. Like, you know, Ed always be going off about, like, people, you know, dudes be talking about how they fuck a chick, and they fuck a chick with the baby in the bed, and how disgusting that shit is. But, like, think about that. Like, this chick is just, you know, butt ass booty naked, trying to put the baby to sleep, and this nigga's like, let me get a picture of that ass for content. Just lay there. Like, what? And then she's with it. You know, she probably even tells, you know, it could even be the other way, like, where the guy's not even saying the shit, and the guy's like, and she's just like, baby, get up, just take a picture of my ass real quick and post it, because we got to make sure we put up content, you know, X amount of times a week. Like, you see how that, it's crazy. It's really crazy, man. And this is what you're spending your time on. People that wouldn't spend any type of time on you. And you really have to, like, you know, reclaiming my time. You know, like, you have to really reclaim your time in a lot of ways. You have to ensure and protect your time along with your peace, but you have to protect your time. I was even talking with a friend earlier today, man. And he hit me up because he's like, yo, I don't know who else to call, bro. He's like, yo, you got a second? And I was like, yo, what's up? And he starts telling me this fucking wild story of this, like, love triangle type shit, or the square, I don't fucking know, between, like, mutual friends, and, like, the guy's like, yo, good friends with the family, the guy's married, and he's fucking off his homeboy's wife, and like I was just like, bro, and he told me, and I was like, yeah. I mean, like, I'm waiting for you to tell me something that's a fucking surprises me. And he's just like, bro, but I'm like, and he wasn't put off by the fact that I wasn't surprised or anything. He was like, bro, but this shit is crazy. I was like, yeah. And the crazy part is, sometimes these women like that sneaky link shit. Like, that's why they call it that. Like, oh, he my sneaky link. Like, they like that sneaky link shit, and they like bringing the sneaky link in front of the main dude. Or they have a constant side dude, a persistent side dude that's been there through multiple relationships. That's always been there. Like, he's just a permanent side nigga. Like whoa, and like they like this shit. They're into it. It turns them on, you know, like it really gets them going. You know, that type of shit. And I'm like, whoa, I was like, bro, this is crazy, but this is normal, man. Like, this is getting to the point where this shit is fucking normal. Like, this is not some, let me drop home. This is not some shit where, you know, so to have this up. This is not some shit where it's like, you should be surprised. And he's like, man, never get married. And I was like, bro, I was like, who are you fucking telling? What do you mean? I'm supposed to give up my fucking peace, my view, my income? You know, like, really, I'm on my selfish shit. And that's kind of like, you know, MGTOW monk mode. BGS always puts that out there. He's like, oh, monk life. You know, you saw the fucking drill press that I that I bought off my neighbor. And like, yeah, man, it really is some monk life shit. Like, I drove past, saw this dude selling this shit at the side of the road, and I fucking bought it, you know? Like, damn, you know? And then I'm telling my friend, like, yo, listen. Yeah, those are my brakes. I don't know, like, I think it's just because, fuck it, I haven't driven my truck all day, but anyways. And, you know, let me turn the fucking there. Yes, no. So, my friend's telling me about this whole fucking thing, and then, you know, you just start to really, I was like, yo, he's like, yeah, don't get married. I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, who are you fucking telling? I'm supposed to, like, give up, like, you know, I said finance and all this other stuff. The car I just fucking ordered. The peace that I have. The tranquility on a daily basis. You know, the ease of my fucking life. The fact that I see my trainer 3 times a week. You know, that I'm doing X, Y, and Z and so on and so forth. And I'm living my fucking life. And I'm looking at things like my homeboy told me about something he did over the weekend with him and his girl. Escape to Blue Ridge. So Blue Ridge, Georgia is becoming well known in terms of like a place to a getaway, and a lot of people from Florida are coming up. My friend actually bought a cabin in Blue Ridge years ago now, and you know, it's really nice mountainous area, beautiful. I actually had another friend that actually went up there, but he if you go to Escape, I think it's like escapetoblueridge.com or something like that, and they have all these different cabins on there, and one of the cabins is the glass cabin. Right? And that glass cabin has, what the fuck does a glass cabin have? The glass cabin is really nice, passing the cop. Glass cabin is really fucking nice, and what it has is some, like, a really nice fucking view, right? And that view is, like, you know, you can see just about everything. You can see all the little houses in the distance and stuff on the mountainside and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, like, yo, I'm gonna, like, really set up, like, a nomadic, a technological nomad type setup. Like, I'm gonna get a suitcase, and with that suitcase, I'm gonna put like pieces of foam in there, like foam liner, and cut it out to where I could just slide different laptops in, right? And then have, like, you know, little spacers and stuff to where I can, like, adjust the size and shit like that. And then with that, I can actually travel and protect all my laptops, have all the cables and cords in there. Excuse me, all the cables and cords in there, and probably even 1 or 2 monitors, so that I can actually have a full setup. But if you look at this glass cabin, and I'll link it I'll pin it to the chat. But if you look at this the view of this fucking place, I'm talking phenomenal. Ridiculously beautiful. Screened in fucking patios where you're just overlooking just the majesty of the Blue Ridge area, right? And it's just one company, or this one company, and they have like quite a few cabins, man, and in the area. And you know, thinking about that, right, and getting back onto the to the whole point of all this, because you know I go off on tangents, but I try to bring it back in. But thinking about that, you can actually be doing things like that with your life, with your money, with your time, right? And instead of being with somebody who sadly falls out of love with you, but they're so cowardly that they don't want to leave, or that they're so cowardly they don't even want to stay. So either way, they just look really fucking bad. Society, of course, will look at that person, usually the woman, just based off the numbers. Society will look at that person as, you know, someone who you know, is a victim of some sort. But this chick is like totally in love with this other fucking dude and all this other shit. It's fucking crazy, man. But I'm like, yo, I'm supposed to give up all this shit, all these nice things, for somebody who can just easily fall out of love with me. This is why I talk about like the deal, the 10-year deal, or 2 kids and making sure the second one gets to 10 years old. And in fact, I have to modify that, because you have to modify that for like common law marriages and stuff like that. So if you have a common law marriage, and I think it's usually like 10 years of cohabitation, then you're pretty much married. Yeah, you probably want to do a little bit less than that. Probably like 7 years, you know, till the second kid reaches 7 or something like that, or less. You know, so you don't, like, you just like right at that marker, boom, be gone, get out of here, so on and so forth. But there's a lot of laws and different things. Or you could just have fucking breeding relationships, man. Like, you know, and the only reason... And if you go like as far as like a breeding relationship where it's just like, hey, this person's in a different house or something like that, then to me, you might as well just do surrogacy and get a nanny at that point. And that's actually something I've been thinking about. I don't want to do adoption, because I do want, you know, my kids to have my genetic makeup and stuff like that. But to be very honest, man, the way this shit is happening, bro, like I'm considering these things. I haven't strongly considered them because I haven't done the research, but I talk about them often. But when you start to look at, you know, everything that happens, man, and how all that stuff can be robbed from you in terms of your time and everything that you have built over the years, and you want to give that up for somebody who has a fickle nature that can change on you at the drop of a hat, you know, and just because they don't like 1 or 2 things, or they just fall out of love with you, which is, I understand it, it happens, you know, and the reason why I say it happens is just because it does happen. Like, you know, you can't really stop. You shouldn't be there to make somebody happy. They have to make themselves happy. They have to make themselves content. They have to give themselves something to do or to be, to fulfill them, right? That's on them. But you really can't sit there and put all this work and effort into a person that doesn't want to reciprocate, nor does that person actually want to do. They don't want to go, in a sense. So when you see all these things, man, and you start to look at your time, and you start to look at the value of your time and everything else like that, you really have to just say, hey, this doesn't make sense for me to do this. And I no longer want to be a part of this, and I no longer want to waste my time and money and energy. I don't want to do that. You know, like, we have a finite bit of life. We're running low. You know, like, all these things are happening to us and building up on us in terms of injuries, mental stress, trauma, you know, all types of other buildups of negative things. And we're not often building up positive things in our life that we feel are actual benefits or blessings to us. You know, like, we don't, there's just so much that works against us, in a sense, with that. And that makes us even feel bad as well, which is crazy, about our current situation in life, you know, with the high level of consumerism and the programmed consumerism that we actually are subject to, or the programming of consumerism that we're subject to, you know, it makes us want more. Then that actually makes us waste even more time on things that really don't matter, in a sense, right? Like, I'm not trying to, you know, trust me, I like the cars, you know, I like, you know, getting things, a house and all this other stuff, like acquiring things to a certain extent that fulfill me and make me feel better, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, like, you know, when you get those things, what are you doing to make sure that you actually use those things, utilize those things, partake in the things that you've accumulated. Like, you know, I haven't touched my workshop in months, you know, but I honestly, by the end of this year, by December, I should be able to pay off for the thing. I just got it in January. So, like, that's a big thing for me, right? But I want to get to a point where I have little to no debt. I'm going to have to sacrifice a little bit to get to that point. But while I'm also sacrificing, I'm planning on how not to be in the same position again. How not to waste my time. How to actually have the most value of my time and put all my money back into investments and other things. You know, so I'm really looking to improve all of those things and really move up the times table. Or the times table. 9 times 9 is 81. Shout out to Yo Gotti. But I'm really trying to move up that timetable to say, hey, I could be in a better place. I could be in a better situation. And I need to do what's necessary to ensure that that happens. You know? So, that's kind of like that's what I'm going for now. That's what I'm really aiming for. Really reclaiming my time. And doing the things that would get me to my ultimate vision goal, you know, and ensure that, you know, my time is my own. You know, not giving it to someone else all willy-nilly just so I can pay debt because I'm impatient, because I don't want to take time. I want my time back. I want every penny from my time up front. If you listen to The Richest Man in Babylon, one of the things the guy says, or one of the parts of the stories, and I have to actually re-listen to that, but I got so many things I need to actually listen to, but one of the things that was said is, you know, you work and you pay the cloth maker, the cloth merchant, the food peddler, you know, the person that gives you wine and fruits and all types of other stuff. You pay all them before you even pay yourself. And it talks about the 10%, putting away 10% of your income, and you pay yourself before you pay anyone else. I would always suggest strongly that you listen to The Richest Man in Babylon. It is a 4-hour audiobook. It is available on YouTube for the free ski. If you want, go ahead and support. I haven't, so, but go ahead and support them, or the not the author, but the publisher, whoever has it. I don't know, but go ahead and support, you know, if you want. But it's free on YouTube, so go ahead and listen to it. But it's a 4-hour book, and really always bothered me, changed my life, and I always use it as a way of, quote unquote, getting out of, you know, fucked up situations, or fucking myself. I'm trying to unfuck myself in so many ways. So it's definitely something that I would suggest everyone listen to. But it's really important that you see that you pay Honda, in my case Chevrolet, or PNC Bank, or, you know, the county office, or my building, or a financial institution, or the financial institution that has a loan for my building. You know, like, it's necessary that you do things like that ahead of, like, it's necessary that you pay yourself before you pay all those other people, because they did not work as hard as you did for your money. They worked very hard to advertise that they have packages that can take that your future value away from you, or sorry, you can give your future value away to them, because it's all you, it's all me. But pay yourself first. Reclaim your time. Reclaim the money that is made from your time. Do what's necessary to accomplish that. All right, with that being said, hey, listen, love you guys all, man. You know, wish you guys all the best throughout your days, and do things to reclaim your time. Do things to put yourself in a position to where every bit, every hour of the day, every hour of your work day goes directly into your pocket after taxes. All right, peace.